Hey y'all, I'm Snow, and welcome back to the first ever recorded episode of Snow White and the Seven Does. This is your first time watching me on YouTube. Hello, welcome. This podcast is also on Spotify for podcasters. So if you come from Spotify, hello, welcome. If you're listening on Spotify, hello, welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so grateful and thankful that I get to build this community of like-minded individuals, and I just get to leave my mark on the world. It really makes me happy. So today, since it's our first ever recorded episode, I'm going to go back and touch on what the 7 Does are so that you guys are fully up to date. If this is your first episode that you're watching, I do recommend you go back and listen to all of them because they'll all be useful and kind of tie into each other. Either way, here we go. So there's 7 Does. These are kind of like my morals, my main topics that I want to touch on. I feel like they all tie into each other. This podcast for me is kind of like teaching you guys and myself like reality creation, as well as just creating the highest, most positive vibe and honestly the best life, because what I want to live the best life, and I just want to align with whatever I think that is. For me, I don't really care what other people think anymore. Like, I've really lost that. I've lost touch with like reality, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I like it over here, I'm happy over here, so I'm gonna stay over here. And I'm gonna keep doing that. But here's my does. I go from what I think is most important to least important, kind of, but I think they all are equally as important in some sense. It's just life. This is kind of how I structure life. Yeah. 1 is health. Health is the most important to me because I feel like without health, you can't do the other things. You need like your wellness, your well-being to be able to live life. Community is number 2, so that's just creating like a little circle around you that makes you feel at home and makes you feel safe and supported. Family, friends, co-workers, your little people that you get coffee from in the morning, whatever. Consumption is number 3, so that could be watching my podcast, listening to YouTube, watching YouTube, listening to music, going to an art gallery, reading a book. I need to not like show you guys my entire journal. There's like a song on the other side. Okay, so next is movement and action. So that could be like traveling and exploring, or it could just be as simple as like going on a hike or going to the gym, things like that. And then creation is under that because I feel like after consumption and movement and action, you get sparks of inspiration to create. Creation can be making a podcast, YouTube channel, art, clothes, a fucking science journal, you name it, whatever it is. Then after that, love and sex. I feel like there's lots of different types of love. There's love with family members, there's friendship type of love, there's romantic type of love. And that's all a huge part of life, and so is sex. And I feel like sex with a romantic partner is very important. It strengthens your connection, obviously, and it's something that I think nowadays we kind of very much like take for granted, I want to say. I don't know, like, our society has taken the romance out of it, I guess. It's normalized sex. It's just, sex has been put on like a different sort of pedestal. And it's an energy exchange, whether you want to admit it or not. It's like, you get a part of that person when you do that, and you give a part of yourself when you do that. And I mean, I've had experiences in the past where I like try to casually just hook up with someone and I go bonkers. For me, I feel like it's very hard to drive my emotionally sane car when I'm like being casual about something that truly isn't casual to me. But everybody's their own person, so everybody has their own what makes them feel good and what doesn't. And yeah, I feel like for me, really building like a trusting connection with, or like a trusting connection with myself and a trusting connection with someone else, and sharing, knowing that I'm sharing myself with someone that I trust is also raising like my trust in myself, because I just feel safe. I feel like at home at myself, and I feel like I'm respecting myself. So I feel best in life when I'm doing that. So that's why I added it. Anyways, career is last, and that's because I feel like career is very important. It's good for humans to feel like they're producing, doing something, but that's also in creation. So you can make money from your creations, but you can also make money in a career and a business side. And I think that having like a business aspiration and goals, like it's good, it's a very great thing, but I also feel like in life we're kind of programmed to be human doers instead of human beings, and it's important to know that you need to slow down in life and enjoy the moment and find peace in the moment and find peace in stillness. And your body and mind and soul all needs time in the day where you're not doing anything, where it's not sleeping, but it's not active, and you get just time with yourself to like listen to your body, listen to its needs, and also listen to like infinite intelligence. In the last episode, I talked about universal laws for dummies, and I broke down all the 10 or the 12 laws, and I highly recommend you go and listen to that episode. I think that's the most informational episode that kind of structures everything. So go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Law states that what you put out is what you get back. So if you're constantly putting out like an overexertion of energy, that's also what you're getting back. So you have to find a balance that works with you, where you feel like you're fully taking care of all of your needs. And when all of your needs are being fully taken care of by yourself, then other people start to make your life easier as well. And then life just kind of turns on this like easy mode where you don't really have to think about it. You don't really have to stress anymore. You don't really have to be in high anxiety situations. You don't have to feel like Tweaker Snow. Okay? Oh, I haven't talked about that yet. Let's talk about that. So, basically what I did to kind of help me with my emotional intelligence, because you can ask my friends, they'll tell you like, Snow, she's got her shit together. Like with work, she usually is on top of it. She's like driven, she's responsible. Except I'm bonkers when it comes to love. Like when it comes to boys, or I'm bisexual, so girls too. When it comes to when it comes to love in general, I can go a little crazy. I get a little carried away. Basically, and this isn't only just for love, this character doesn't come out just for love, but what I did, let me slow down. What I did was I envisioned like, it's like the emotion movie, like how there's different like characters for all the little emotions. I sat down with myself and I envisioned what all of my little emotions looked like. So I've got like a little like fairy foo-foo, angelic, like peaceful, graceful, like in the clouds Snow. And then I've also got like an energetic party fun Snow, and I've got like a happy like chill stoner Snow, and like, or I don't know. And then there's this one that's like a tweaker, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. There's this one that's like, her hair is kind of crazy, she's got like really bad dark circles, and like she's like trying to find, like, she's got like one of those cork boards where she's trying to find the murderer, but all the faces are her. So we love Snow, we love that part of her, but we're just trying to like maybe get her some therapy, brush out her hair, like put a little lotion under the eyes, perfume, you know, take care of her. She doesn't have to die, like she's a part of me. And I love her because I love myself unconditionally. But now that I've recognized Tweaker Snow, when Tweaker Snow comes out in real life, I'm like, this is what you look like right now. This is what you're doing. This is what you're being. And then I'm like, Angelic Snow. Honey, what's bothering you? How can I help? What am I doing wrong? Instead of like, fuck you, cunt! Because I can be a bitch. I don't know if the Chia print gave it away, but I'm trying not to be. I'm kidding. I really have been tame. Unless, I talked about this in one episode, like, I'm not gonna let someone fuck with my boundaries. I'm not. If you're gonna fuck with my boundaries, expect what you're putting out. Because I'm not, don't play with me. If you're messing with my vibe and I can't do anything about it, run. Just kidding. I can do everything about it because I choose where I put my energy. I choose where I put my energy. So we don't need to be tweaker snow all the time. No, we don't need to give things our energy. I'll give you a great example. This is a great example. I love this. You guys are like my best friends. But basically I dated this like guy, and I had this best friend when I dated this guy. And when I broke up with this guy, this girl I lived with was also my best friend, and she was like hooking up with other guys, so I lived with like a lot of girls. I lived with like 8 girls at the time. I lived in like this crazy sorority house thing. It was awful. This is why I know how safe or like important it is to have a safe space. But anyways, she was basically like hooking up with other girls in the house as guys who she didn't like. If she didn't like a girl, she would go after the guy that they liked. And she was my friend because I had lived with her for like multiple years now. When I moved to San Diego, here's something that's also, I don't know, a little tidbit. When I moved here for college, and I just got thrown into this new city, and I was working on manifestation at the time. It was COVID, and that's kind of when I got into like all of this. But when I moved here, I definitely just got like placed in the house, or like I lived in an apartment with like 6 other girls, I think. 6 other girls, 5 other girls, I was the 6th at first. And I lived with like that many people, like 6 to 8 people for 3 years in like college town. And when you're in that, like everybody's kind of doing the same thing. Like they're going to class, going to parties, like doing this and that. But then you're also like just thrown in with a bunch of personalities all at once, and you're kind of just trying to fit in, make friends, because it's a whole new city, and like you want people to like you. You want to like do good. You want to start your life off well. But I don't know. It can cloud like who you are, because you're just like, okay, they're doing it, I need to do it too. I need to make friends. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do that. But even though you don't always want to do it, and following like your emotional intelligence, like, yes, I want to do this, then do this. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's respecting yourself. That's holding your value. What was this gonna get to? I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get back. Moving to a new city. Emotional intelligence. Truly don't know. We'll get there though. Stillness? Moving. Oh, the girl, the story. Okay. So yeah, I was dating this guy, and then I broke up with him, and then she was doing that, and I already had kind of like a gut feeling like this girl isn't someone that's gonna be in your life forever. You may wanna love her from a distance. And so I made that decision, love her from a distance. I moved out, and she went after my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend, and she did that for like months, literally months, and they both like were doing things like to try and like piss me off, but it did piss me off. It did. One instance pissed me off, but not once did I show them that it pissed me off. And oh my god, they just look like stupid idiots. They look like dumbass fucking idiots. Stupid fucking idiots. Because everybody, like, they just look dumb, basically. And they clown themselves I just looked like I was thriving. Like, I looked unaffected and good, and I was. And because I didn't give it my energy, because I didn't do any, like, vengeance thing, like, back to them after they, like, were doing all these petty things to me, like, I walked away like this. Like, okay, like, that's, like, my fucking past. Like, that's my history. I don't give a fuck. And I could have sat and been like, that's Tweaker Morgan right there. Like, what can I do? What can I do? How do I do? But then I'm like, then they're like, what is this crazy bitch doing? Why does she still care? Like, what does it matter to her? You know, then I give them ammunition to come at me. We're rejecting the projection. We're rejecting the projection. You can choose what you focus on. So I'm going to focus on me. And I'm going to do good. And I'm going to feel good. It's echoing in here. Are you guys getting like an echo? I hope not. In building relationships and going forward, you don't have to kill off the old self. But you have to trash the old self. You have to love the old self, thank the old self for teaching you who you are now, but also now it's time to step into the new self. It's time to get rid of what's no longer serving us and go into what is and who we want to be and live the life of who we want to be. You can't hold on to the things of the past and move into the future. It just doesn't work like that. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You got like all these bags. You just need one. The future. Okay? Now, when building relationships and business partnerships or whatever else, setting strong boundaries at the beginning, letting them know exactly who you are at the beginning, not giving them like exactly who you want them to be list, but showing them exactly who you are and telling you this is what I put up with, this is what I don't put up with, if you're gonna do this, like this isn't gonna work for me, plain and simple. And you doing that, you setting your boundaries, makes you like seem more attractive, more valuable. Like you got like, well, just like you're highly sought after. Like if you're able to set your boundaries this high and people are meeting your boundaries this high, they're like, what the fuck? This girl gets the whole world. This girl's a spoiled fucking princess. Like literally, I get called spoiled all the time. I love it. I'm like, yes I am. Thank you. I am. And if someone talks to me like disrespectfully or rudely, like I don't want to react to that anymore. I don't want to give into that anymore. I don't want to be rude or disrespectful back. I'd rather they be the rude and disrespectful person. I stay calm and let them just like do their thing. And then they realize in a second or 10 seconds, they're like, oh, she's not reacting. I'm out of pocket. I'm the one that's like needs to like get my shit together. And yeah, that makes you more magnetic, that makes you more attractive. You're setting the tone of being a high value individual. A lot of people confuse confidence for arrogance. Like if you love yourself, like, I don't know, you're an arrogant piece of shit or something. I don't know. The world has normalized like fucking complaining, fucking hating themselves, fucking all these mental disorders. You know, one time I got diagnosed with severe depression. and boy was I. But I did it to myself. And when it happened, I was friends with this girl and she told me, like literally that day, she was like, ugh, I hate when people put fucking labels on like depression or anxiety and shit because now like you like identify with that. Cause I was like, hey, I have depression. And she was like, I hate that. Like now you identify with that and like it's your sticker. And when she told me that, I was like, fuck you, bitch. Like really? But later down the line, now I'm like, I completely get where she's coming from. Because saying, I have depression, oh, I did this because I have depression, oh, this happened because I have depression. That is just creating the life around you. That is literally like manifesting your world. Flip the script, like flip it. And it's the easy fucking answer. Do you know why I was depressed? Because I was a bitch to my parents, because I was like struggling with money and I was in school and I didn't want to take out loans and I didn't know what I was fucking doing in school and I was partying all the time. That was why I was depressed. Like, it's not fucking rocket science. Stop doing drugs. Come every fucking night. Literally, I asked somebody this the other night. I was like, you know, you've been drinking for like the past 2 weeks, like every single day. And they're like, no. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no. And I was like, yeah. What's wrong? Like, what's going on? Because you're not, I mean, you start as something fun, but then it ends as a habit because there's a feeling that you're trying to ignore. Anyways. Confidence, though, it's not arrogance. And like people who are insecure in themselves will, you know when you like look good, you feel good, and you go out with people and they constantly talk about how they don't look good or feel good, and then it makes you feel like weird because they'll also comment on your appearance. So, like, you look so good, you look so pretty, and I'm like this, like as if they want me to be uglier so that they feel more comfortable. Bitch, get your fucking shit together, take a shower, like, I don't know, like curl your eyelashes, like, come on, you're beautiful. And you constantly like projecting that is like, it can me out. Like, shut the fuck up. Literally, love yourself. That's it. That's all I had to do. That's all I had to do was love myself. Look back at 2 years ago today. 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago today. Look back. Look back at my college era. I was not cute. I was not cute. I'm gonna embarrass myself so much right now, but look at my driver's license photo. Yup. Look at her fucking cheeks. Guess why? Because she was drinking every single night. Like, duh, she's red as fuck, bro. She's fucking puffy, red. What's the blonde? What's the blonde? What is the blonde? I look like shit. I hated myself. It's because I was telling myself that I hated myself every day. And guess what? This is like more of a girly conversation, so if you're a man, you can definitely be included. But 1 out of 3 girls goes through like eating disorder problems. And when I was a senior in high school, I was bulimic. I was in cheer, all-star cheer my entire life. I was always a flyer. When I was a junior, I became a base. And then when I was a senior, I went back to being a flyer. But I was like conscious of my weight from like a junior. I was always conscious of my weight because it was like, people were always commenting on it, just like subconsciously, like, oh, be careful what you eat, I have to lift you later. Or like my brother was my base, and he was not chill about that shit. Like, he was literally like, you fucking badass. And I've never been fat. Never. But, where's this story going? Oh, bulimia. I was bulimic when I was at my heaviest weight. I was throwing up, but I was at my heaviest weight. Because I was telling myself I was fat, I was telling myself I hated myself, and then I was also fucking up my system. So every time I'd like throw up and then I'd eat, it'd cling to what I ate, and then like I'd throw up, I'd binge and restrict, binge and restrict, binge and restrict, and I was heavier because of that. I was heavier because I didn't have emotional intelligence. Later down the line, I went to college and I was surrounded by almost every single girl that I lived with had an eating disorder, not like in some way, shape, or form. And I even experienced today, like people, you'll go out to dinner and then girls will like fucking comment about them counting calories or things like that. Keep it to yourself. Like, what the fuck? Like, we don't need to talk about weight, like, and counting calories and like how, what you're doing and how you haven't eaten anything but a granola bar today. That's not cool. That's not funny. Like, it's not cute. You look a damn fool. Anyways, I'm serious. Like, it's you're fucking rubbing off on other people. You realize that, right? And like 1 out of 3 girls has an eating disorder. So you talking about it, you're triggering someone else. Yes, a girl has like like I can give it attention or I cannot, you know? But just make the world a better place and love yourself and don't talk about that. And then, besides the point, I was heavier when I was bulimic. And then once I started stopping counting calories, going to the gym regularly, and eating intuitively, I lost like 15, 20 pounds. Literally. I didn't like heavy weight lift. Like what I did mostly was walk. I just walked like miles a day, like 2-3 miles a day. And I listened to what my body needed. I don't lift weights. I never lift weights. I go to yoga and I walk. That's what I do now. I sweat out everything. I go to yoga. I walk. If I'm sore, I'm not fucking going to yoga because my body's tired. I'm not pushing it past that limit. And I feel good. I look good. I eat fruit. I eat vegetables. I eat healthy because that's what my body craves now. I'm not craving as much junk food unless I'm about to be on my period. But like now that I'm being pure, all I crave is pure, like good for me. And it's showing. I feel good. I look good. I'm proud of my body. I'm confident in my body. And I don't think it's something that you have to like hide. Like, yeah. But also I'm not out here like binge eating. Like honestly, like losing weight is also a mindset. Like it's pouring love into yourself. And like, I mean, people will say like I have a gluten intolerance and they're usually bigger because you're telling yourself you have a gluten intolerance. People will say that they like, oh, I went to dinner with this. If you're watching this, I don't like you. I'm kidding, but honestly, she like hit all of my pet peeves at like this dinner, and like she like asked me like she like kept harassing me about my job. I was like, I have a podcast. Anyways, she talked about counting calories and how she was paying like, literally I'm gonna call her out because I don't like her. She was paying like $500 for this personal trainer a month, and she was only seeing her like 4 times a month. She was paying $500 for this personal trainer and gym membership, and she was only seeing the personal trainer like 4 times a month. And then she was talking about, but it makes sense because like she was showing me like if I don't go out and if I like cut all this shit and like get my healthy girl era, like it literally makes up for it. As she's like ordering like multiple drinks and shots, and then she ordered like mac and cheese, and then I ordered like salmon and vegetables, and she ordered mac and cheese. And the salmon and she was talking about like all her counting calories and shit, and she was like, and then they both come out and she was like, see, that's why I didn't get that, because look how big it looks. Are you fucking dumb? Are you stupid? You're eating like you're carb loading. You think that that's not gonna stay in your fucking stomach for the next month? You're a dumbass. This is gonna go through me in a day. I'm gonna shit this out tomorrow morning. You're gonna be struggling to shit that out next week. I should have told her to her face. I wish I did. She was really pissing me off. I didn't even say bye. Irish goodbye. Fuck that bitch. Ugh. I hate people like that. Like, especially if I didn't like start the, like I met her at, oh man. I don't mean to sound like a bitch, but literally like re-pierce my nipples before I have to go like to a social scene. Like, please. Unless it's a festival. I can't do it. Can't do it. Like, birthday parties and clubs and bars. It makes me so nauseous. Like, I just don't have the tolerance for ignorance anymore. So when I'm, like, forced to be around people that I don't really align with, I can't do the face anymore. Let me read you a poem. And you'll get me a little bit more. You guys are literally my besties. You'll get me a little more after this poem. This is gonna be a song one day. Once it started as just like kind of like word vomit in my notes. But one day I'm gonna like fix it up and make it a song. Ready? I haven't had a grip on reality in a while, probably because I've been home majority of the time. Life hasn't been the same since I met the tricky bitch. Bad memories that keep me up at night. I tend to neglect the darkness within, trying to forgive and move on with grace, but you can't forget. A moment of emptiness and heartache, in a slow-mo trance as the world rushes for help around me. I hear of other stories, ones of success, causing voices to go mute and faces a blur. Feeling guilty and unsure why I wasn't even half alive until the night I decided to play God. No family nearby, just when I love you text should suffice. No one knows when you're at your lows. Smile on your face at just the right time, only knowing because of the bodily language I read. They don't know I'm talking about something more dire in my head, and they could never understand. Do just enough so they don't ask questions. No will to live, wishing for a pause button. Someone says to me, happiness is a choice. He didn't know what I did that weekend, but still here I get goosebumps at the sunsets, butterflies from the ocean, and I'm happy to be alive. Months go by. I've classified as a registered positive person, and I enter a plasma center. The needle goes in, and I cry and go empty in my stomach, chest, and breath. Now, 4:56 a.m., still high, couple mistakes later, lots of growth, short on rent that's due tomorrow, but I'm alive. The blanket feels so cozy and my kitty's so cuddly. The darkness turns to light, the seasons will change. The tides will rise, the sun that set will once again rise whether you make it or not. There's no pause button on life, but you can slow down to enjoy the moments that's everlasting. Thinking you'll stay the same in a world that could never is pure ignorance. Embrace the change that's working with you. I wrote that when I was short on rent and I went to go donate my plasma to get $200 and they make you do a medical examination before, and they ask you have you been to the hospital in the past 12 months? And you have to answer honestly, and it asks, have you spent the night in the hospital in the past 12 months? And I had to answer honestly. So then they asked why and in the screening, and I had to tell them that I tried to kill myself. And it was the first time that I talked about it since I did it. And yeah, it was a weird feeling, to say the least. But, I mean, for me, I was really sad for a really long time. I didn't really feel like I had a purpose or a place or community or hope or anything for a long time. And I can't really explain why, or what led me to get there. Definitely just a series of events in my childhood, I guess, and growing up. And I don't know, for a couple of years I did not want to be alive for 5-6 years. Every day was a struggle. Every day I was fighting suicidal thoughts, and I looked really happy. I seem like a happy person. I have a friendly face. I have a cute and I'm not one to talk about it a lot with my people. I usually look like I'm good even when I'm not. I look the best when I'm at my lowest. Sometimes. I can put on a good lip mask. But, yeah, I mean, I was sitting there and I was my eyes were dilated, and they were non-responsive. So you'd shine a light in it or anything, and they were just stay the fucking same. It was really scary. And there's people rushing around me, and I was am I gonna die? And she was I hope not. I really hope not. And that was fucking really scary. I didn't have any family. I didn't have anybody nearby. I was all alone. And I don't know, I just knew that's not how I wanted to die. I knew that this is not my story. This is not my legacy. This is not what I want to leave behind. I can't believe I actually did it. I can't believe it's come this far. I can't believe why did I do this? This was so stupid. I'm actually gonna die. I'm never gonna see a sunset again. I'm never gonna reach my goals. I'm never gonna see my mom. I'm never, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? And unfortunately, I feel that's what a lot of people end up thinking. It's what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? And when it's too late, it's already done. Because what I did would have killed me a week later. Not that night. It would have killed me a week later. It would have been a slow, progressive death. Irreversible. I would have just been sitting there, slowly dying. I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm such a fucking idiot. And then I felt so stupid. I was really? You can't even kill yourself? You can't even fucking kill yourself? Really? What are you good for? Then I found a little lust for life, and then I was like, wait, I do have goals. Wait, I'm actually pretty cool. Wait, I think that I'm really upset because of my environment and the things that I'm doing, and I can fix this. I can change. I can do it. And that's why I'm here doing this. That's why I'm here, like, living life without your fucking opinion. Because I don't care what you think. Bitch, I should be dead. I should be dead, but I'm not, so I'm gonna do what I want. Anyways, that's this episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm Snow. And this is my show.